David, congratulations in order, first of all, because you are the League One Manager of the Month for October. The first time you've won the award at this level. What does that recognition mean to you?
Oh, listen, really pleasing. Shows that we're doing things right. Like I've said previously, very much a collective award. Yeah, I'm the sort of at the forefront, or after respond to defeats or things that go badly and things that go well. But that's a recognition for not just the hard work that goes on through 1 month, because you can go through the course of the season and have consistent periods and it not result in winning, for example, the 4 league games that we did win in October. But to do it, it's nice, really good recognition and reinforcement to everybody that we're going in the right direction.
You've had 9 to 10 days now to assess, pick the bones out of the last league game against Luton Town. What was your verdict on the game, having had the chance to watch it back?
Very similar to what the verdict was during the game. On a different day, we win the game, and that might sound daft having lost the game 3-0, but the game is going to be decided, and especially was decided by moments. We've got really good chances before they score in the first half an hour of the game. We're very good. In terms of game plan and what we asked us to do, we knew that after Friday's session and with the players that were out, that we were going to have to change what we did. So went a little bit different, a little bit something that we've done over time, and the players did it really well. What you have to do in them moments and them periods is score, and we had the chances to score and didn't take them. We then get punished from a poor bit of defending down the side, but then we're a little bit unlucky, which can happen. Dodge gets across, clears the ball, it's there, lad, and goes in. Sometimes that happens. Again, we don't defend the moment well enough on the far side and get punished. Ultimate punishment with a really good free kick that puts them in a strong position and makes it a really tough day for us. But the reaction from half time was, again, really good. We get ourselves on the front foot, get ourselves a penalty, missed the penalty. Maybe at that point you think it's one of those days. Obviously, the goal they get, the third goal with us pushing forward, takes the game away from us, and the sent off then makes the afternoon one where we're just salvaging and trying to sort of get through. But you have to, I suppose, take the positives out of it. You've got to look at what the statistics suggest in the game, and I know the most important and maybe the only relevant statistic or data is the scoreline and the value of 3 points to Luton and none to us. But from our side of things, we've got to look at what we did, and we did lots of things really well. What we didn't do, we weren't clinical, and we didn't stick the ball in the net when we needed to, and that ultimately means that we get no points.
Got to ask you about the following game last Tuesday, a pretty bizarre night with the weather, the stoppage, the pretty meaningless penalty shootout at the end. What was your view on the night and how it all panned out?
Yeah, well, I suppose our thought process around that game changed pretty significantly over the weekend because of the players that we had missing, and then becomes a little bit of protection for some, and an opportunity to put some players in that needed minutes, and some younger players. We still, I suppose, wanted to progress, but it maybe never became as sort of significant as maybe what it would have done. We would hope that the games in that competition, with players coming back, timing-wise, would have worked pretty well for us. But losing more players has just meant we're a little bit more stretched. So we'll have to approach the next round of that when it comes, and see where we're at in terms of the game. I thought we played some decent stuff, got ourselves into a good lead. We're on the end of another poor refereeing decision, and then what happened. I think the referee, did well in the fact that he wanted to try and things to carry on, but someone was going to get injured in that period. The rain was horrendous and the pitch wasn't standing up, and what you don't want to do in them moments is have the poorness of the surface in terms of the water either injure somebody, and we can't afford that to happen, and the referee certainly can't afford that to happen, or result in the outcome of the game being different than maybe what it would have been. So that game would have been abandoned without question. But obviously with the competition the way it was, the EFL were keen to finish the game at whatever point that was. If the game, obviously, if it had carried on to raining, then there's no chance it would have been finished. It's funny when you in the dressing room, you realise you're off for as long as we were off for. But I thought massive credit to the players. When you've been off the pitch for that long, it does become a mental battle. I thought we restarted the game really, really well. And probably should have got ourselves in front. We're obviously aware that as long as we don't lose the game by 2 goals, that we're gonna qualify from the group. We maybe got away with one in the last kick of the game, really, when Wigan scored, and it looks very close for offside, but maybe we get away with one there. And as much as the penalty shootout can be deemed as sort of meaningless, there may be significant ones further down the line. So from our perspective, it's a chance to practice, and a chance for a younger player, as was with Bruno, to score a winning penalty to get us through. So the positives come out of the night. Thankfully, the game got finished. No ill effects in terms of injuries and things like that, and we can look forward to the Crew game when it comes about.
And it was a good experience for those younger players, as you say, Christy Grogan, Shea Gardner, Corey Edwards. At a time when you are pretty heavily depleted through injury, are you comfortable with looking towards those players to maybe fill the gap in the short term?
Well, we don't have a choice, so that's where it'll be. With all of those players you're talking about, apart from Corey, Che's been out injured. Che had a stress response in his back, so he's been out for 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Christie's been out. Arian's obviously out injured. They're young players that would have got more opportunities, but their squad is in a similar situation to what ours is in terms of the first team. So, yeah, you always want to, I suppose, be in a position where you can rely on younger players, but we need to be realistic around where we're at. The objective is for the club to try and get players through into the first team, but the objective is still to win, and the objective is to get promoted from League One. And where we're currently at, they're not at a level and a level of experience where they're going to impact a high-ranked League One team who wants to get promoted to the Championship on a consistent basis. But that's something that we understand. They understand we need to work on and make sure we sort of reduce the size of that gap to give them opportunities, and that the competition, like I say, will allow that to happen. Whether that's then more games with us or more games at a level slightly below us, whether you get experience. You look at obviously Jid being out at the moment and playing games in League Two for Walsall. If that gets them closer to our first team, then brilliant. That's always going to be the aim. But regardless of whether you say and you've got young players in a squad, age is not important, but ability to perform at the level that we need to is the most important thing.
Just in terms of injuries, obviously all the talk after last Saturday was about Ollie Norwood, the impact of losing him, but I thought Joseph Olowu was just as big a miss, particularly with how he had to change his shape, change his back line. How is he doing? Is he available for Thursday?
Yeah, he is. Listen, Joe was on the bench, and we probably could have put him on if needs must. We had him scanned after the game. He had a slight hamstring, a 1A or a 1B, which is, I don't know, days rather than anything else. So the fact we didn't use him, the fact then we were able to give him a little bit of time, meant that he can be reintegrated this week and is available for us. We've had that situation with others, and we've had to make that decision, especially when you're lower down on numbers. So there is a little bit of short-term pain. We know where we're at with defenders. We are really low on the ground, and obviously Thursday we have Dodge suspended, and then when we go to next Saturday against Barnsley, obviously Cody O'Keefe can't play. So we know we're short with numbers. That might mean that, as we did against Bolton, first game of the season, we had to go with a different shape. I know and completely understand what our best shape is when we've got all our players available, and we have recruited to play in a certain way. But the adaptability of our squad has been a strength over the time I've been here, and to be able to play in different shapes at different times to deal with different opposition and cause different opposition problems is something that we value really highly within our group, and that's probably going to have to be the case over the next few games.
Benno, good to go for Thursday, having been away on international duty?
Yeah, so he was back Friday, obviously played Thursday evening, got himself a goal, and joined in with the group over the weekend. Obviously a little bit tired with the travel and all those things, but he's fine, and available for us once again.
You've been able to add to your squad this week as well. Jack Hunt coming in on a short-term deal. A lot of experience at this level and obviously at the level above as well. Tell us about that deal and why you've brought him into the club.
Yeah, Jack's very similar to both Danny Andrew. A little bit, this will sound the wrong way, but needs must at the minute. Like I say, we are short on defenders, and the options of free agents out there are minimal. Jack's been training, which is good at other clubs. He's coming and training with us and is in good shape. So what we wouldn't be doing is signing someone that wasn't ready to go, because we think that we hope that in 3 or 4 weeks' time we have a lot of players back, and we need someone that's ready to go in and be involved for us from sort of day one, and Jack is that. So delighted to have him with us. He's fitted into the group really, really well. He'll have an immediate involvement. I imagine he will be involved with us on Thursday. We need to obviously see where he's at. He played 90 minutes a couple of weeks back, but he does need competitive games, and he'll certainly have that over the coming weeks.
Just looking at Peterborough, obviously a difficult start to the season, which led to Darren leaving the club. Luke Williams gone in. You'll know him, obviously, coming up against him at Notts County, and the good job he did there. And in fairness to him, he's had a really positive start so far. Looks to be turning things around. Yeah,
listen, they've got a strong squad. I think if you look at what their expectations were and whether you want to take it or not, their owner will always back them to and say he's put a squad together that should be in the playoffs. So that's whether that's true or not true. That's where their belief is, and they've invested heavily in some younger players to try and, I suppose, develop assets, move on, but ultimately still compete. And over the recent past, they've done that. Maybe last year was a difficult one for them at the start of this season, but they've still got threats. Obviously, yeah, they've made a change, something that I know would have been really difficult, because Darren has done a brilliant job there over the time and the periods, not just period, the periods he has been there. And the club's really, really well run. They've brought in Luke, who, like they say, know Luke really well. Top manager, top guy. Again, time and competitive against Notts County, but delighted that he was one that was given an opportunity to step up and go and have a crack at the championship. Again, you're not knowing what's going on from the outside. But I think he probably deserved more time and would have continued to do a good job at Swansea. That's the decision that they made. He obviously bided his time and was out of the game for a little bit, but has come back in and will be a really good fit to what Peterborough want to be and what they want to do. You're always going to get a little bit of a bounce, and within a bounce, you get another bounce if you get some results. Regardless of who the manager is or who the coach is, players gain confidence off performances, but ultimately off winning. And they've got themselves some wins along the way. A really good one last weekend at home to Wimbledon in terms of scoring 5. So they'll have a real bounce about them. You know what they're going to do. What you have to do is be able to deal with that. That was exactly the same with Luke's teams at Notts County. You knew exactly what they were going to do. Whether you could or couldn't deal with that would dictate how the result went a lot of the times. So we know exactly what we're going into. We know that the areas that will need to be really good, but we also know the areas where we think we can hurt them, and they'll know exactly the same to us. So we'll look forward to it. It's in front of the TV cameras, and an opportunity for us to get another 3 points.
Appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
You're welcome. Cheers. Thank you.